Ma'am, step away from the ATM. Hands where I can see them. What are you doing here?
I'm withdrawing my money. I don't see the problem.
Problem is you were trying to tamper with this machine. Let go of it and back up. Let me see some ID.
Officer, do you know who I am?
I don't care if you're the president. Step away from the ATM and show me your ID. Now.
All right, you're making a mistake.
This officer made a career-ending mistake the moment he decided to threaten the wrong woman at an ATM. What he didn't know was that the person he was about to humiliate, search, and arrest without cause wasn't just another citizen he could intimidate. She was someone who understood the law better than he ever would, and his body cam was recording every single second of it. Before we continue, let me take this opportunity to thank you so much for supporting our channel. Just choosing to watch our video means a lot to us. Before we go any further, tell us, where are you watching from? Drop your city or country below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if this is your first time here. It was a Tuesday afternoon in downtown Charleston when Judge Amara Baptiste pulled up to the Fifth Street Bank ATM. She just left a lengthy sentencing hearing and needed cash before heading home. At 40 years old, Amara had spent the last 8 years on the federal bench. She was known for her sharp legal mind, her eloquence, and her refusal to tolerate injustice in any form. She stepped out of her Mercedes, dressed in a navy blazer and slacks. Her natural hair was pulled back in a neat bun. She walked to the ATM, inserted her card, and began her transaction. That's when Officer Kyle Brennan pulled up. Brennan was 30 years old, a 5-year veteran of the Charleston Police Department. He had a reputation, not a good one. His personnel file contained multiple complaints about excessive force and discriminatory behavior, but somehow he was still on the street. He stepped out of his patrol car and approached Amara with purpose. "Ma'am, step away from the machine." Amara glanced over her shoulder, surprised. "Excuse me?" "I said, step away from the ATM now." She turned fully to face him, her transaction still in progress. "Officer, I'm in the middle of withdrawing money from my own account. Is there a problem?" Brennan moved closer, his hand resting on his belt. "Listen, lady, I don't know who you think you are, but when I tell you to do something, you do it. Now show me your ID before I arrest you for obstruction." Do you see what's happening here? An officer is threatening arrest not because a crime occurred, but because someone questioned his authority, and he has no idea who he's dealing with. Amara reached into her purse slowly, maintaining eye contact with Brennan. She pulled out her driver's license and handed it to him. He looked at it briefly. "Amara Baptiste, this your current address?" "It is." "What are you doing in this neighborhood?"
"Withdrawing money, as I already explained." Brennan handed the license back. "Turn around and place your hands on the vehicle." Amara didn't move. "On what grounds?" "I'm conducting a search for weapons and contraband." "Do you have probable cause to believe I'm armed or carrying contraband?" "I don't need to explain myself to you." "Actually, officer, you do. The Fourth Amendment requires probable cause or reasonable suspicion for a search. Standing at an ATM doesn't meet that standard." Brennan's face flushed. He wasn't used to people who knew their rights, and he certainly wasn't used to being challenged by a black woman in a bank parking lot. "You're refusing to comply with a lawful order?" "I'm declining to consent to an unlawful search. There's a difference. Turn around now, or I'm adding resisting arrest to your charges." "What charges? You haven't articulated any crime." Brennan grabbed her arm. "That's it. You're under arrest." Amara remained completely calm. "For what offense?" "Attempted breaking and entering, tampering with the ATM, and resisting arrest. I used my own card at my own bank. Your body camera is recording this entire encounter. You understand that, correct?" That stopped him for half a second, but his pride wouldn't let him back down now. "Yeah, it's recording, and it's gonna show you refusing to cooperate with a police investigation." He pulled her arms behind her back and cuffed her. The metal was tight, too tight, but Amara said nothing. She knew exactly how this would play out. "Officer Brennan," she said quietly as he walked her toward his patrol car. "That is your name, correct? Brennan." "That's right." Officer Brennan, I want you to understand something. I know my rights, I know the law, and I know exactly what you're doing here is illegal. You have no probable cause, you have no reasonable suspicion. You're arresting me because I questioned your authority and because of what I look like. Shut up and get in the car. I'm Judge Amara Baptiste. I sit on the federal bench for the Fourth Circuit, and you just arrested a federal judge for using an ATM. Brennan froze. His hand was on her head, about to guide her into the back seat. For 3 long seconds, he didn't move. Then he laughed. Not a real laugh, a nervous one. Sure you are, and I'm the chief of police. Check my credentials again. My ID lists my occupation, or you can call your supervisor right now and run my name. Either way, this ends very badly for you. Think about this moment. He could have stopped, could have uncuffed her, could have apologized, but his ego wouldn't allow it. I don't care if you're the governor. You broke the law and you're going to jail. He pushed her into the back seat and slammed the door. The metal was tight, too tight, but Amara said nothing. She knew exactly how this would play out. The ride to the station took 12 minutes. Amara sat in silence, her hands cuffed behind her back. She didn't argue, didn't plead. She simply observed and remembered every detail. Brennan kept glancing at her in the rearview mirror. The confidence he'd had at the ATM was cracking. Something about the way she'd said her name, the calm certainty in her voice. When they arrived at the precinct, he parked and opened the back door. Let's go. Amara stepped out carefully. I'd like to speak with your commanding officer. You'll speak with whoever I tell you to speak with. He walked her inside through the booking entrance. 2 other officers looked up from their desks. Brennan, what have you got? One of them asked. Caught her tampering with an ATM on 5th Street, refused to cooperate, resisted arrest. The other officer, a woman named Sergeant Linda Cortez, stood up. She looked at Amara, then at Brennan. Did you run her name? Yeah, it's Amara Baptiste. Address checks out. Cortez walked closer. She studied Amara's face, and something registered. Brennan, uncuff her, now. What? No, she's under arrest. I said uncuff her. That's an order. Brennan's face went red. Sergeant, with all due respect, Kyle, that's Judge Baptiste, federal judge, 4th Circuit. Uncuff her immediately and step outside. The room went silent. Brennan stood frozen. His hands didn't move toward the keys. You're joking. Do I look like I'm joking? Get those cuffs off her right now. He slowly reached for his keys. His hands were shaking as he unlocked the handcuffs. Amara rubbed her wrists. Deep red marks showed where the metal had dug into her skin. Judge Baptiste, Sergeant said, her voice measured. I apologize for this situation. If you'll come with me, we'll get this sorted out immediately. Sergeant, I appreciate that, but I want to be very clear about what happened today. Officer Brennan detained me without reasonable suspicion. He searched me without probable cause. He arrested me on fabricated charges, all while his body cam was recording. I want that footage preserved, and I want to speak with your chief. Cortez nodded. Absolutely. The footage won't be touched. Chief Morrison is in his office. I'll take you there myself. Brennan finally spoke. This is ridiculous. I was doing my job. Someone called in a complaint about the ATM. Who called it in? Dispatch took the call. Then there'll be a record, timestamp, caller information. I'd like to hear that recording as well. Cortez looked at Brennan. Wait in the break room. Don't go anywhere. Don't talk to anyone. He opened his mouth to argue, then thought better of it. He walked away, his shoulders tight. Amara followed Cortez down a hallway to the chief's office. Chief Robert Morrison was a 28-year veteran, a black man in his mid-50s who'd worked his way up through every rank. Cortez knocked on the door. Come in. They entered. Morrison looked up from his desk, then stood immediately when he saw Amara. Judge Baptiste. Chief Morrison. Please sit down. What brings you here? Then he noticed her wrists, the marks from the cuffs.
His expression darkened. What happened? Amara sat. One of your officers, Kyle Brennan, arrested me approximately 20 minutes ago. I was using an ATM at 5th Street Bank. He approached without cause, demanded ID, conducted an illegal search, and arrested me for tampering with the ATM and resisting arrest, none of which occurred. Morrison's jaw tightened. His body cam was on? He confirmed it was recording. Sergeant, pull the footage, right now, and pull the dispatch logs for any calls about 5th Street Bank in the last hour. Cortez left immediately. Morrison sat back down. Judge, I don't know what to say except I'm deeply sorry. If what you're describing is accurate, it's accurate, and it's on video. Then this will be handled. I promise you that. What would you do in this situation? Would you accept an apology and move on? Or would you make sure there were real consequences?
Sergeant Cortez returned 15 minutes later with a laptop. She set it on Morrison's desk and turned the screen toward him and Amara. Body cam footage is queued up. And Chief, there's no dispatch call. I checked every log from the past 3 hours. Nobody reported anything about that ATM. Morrison's face hardened. Play it. The video started. Clear image, clear audio. Everything Amara had described was right there. Brennan approaching without justification, his aggressive tone. Amara asking if she was being detained, him threatening arrest for obstruction when she asked about probable cause, the illegal search, the false arrest. And then the moment she told him she was a federal judge, his dismissive laugh, his refusal to verify, pushing her into the car. Morrison watched the entire thing without speaking. When it finished, he closed his eyes briefly. This is indefensible. It's also actionable, Amara said quietly. Civil rights violation under color of law, false arrest, Fourth Amendment violation, and given that I'm one of the few black women using that ATM in that neighborhood at that time of day, there's a clear pattern here. Has Officer Brennan had complaints before? She asked, though she already suspected the answer. Cortez glanced at Morrison, who nodded. 17 complaints in 5 years. Excessive force, discriminatory policing, unlawful detention. 8 were sustained, but he was never terminated. Written up, suspended twice, mandatory training, that's it. Amara leaned forward. Chief Morrison, I respect the difficulty of your position, but this isn't just about me. How many people has Officer Brennan done this to who didn't have the knowledge or resources to fight back? How many people are sitting in jail right now because he fabricated charges? Morrison met her eyes. You're right, and I take full responsibility for not removing him from duty sooner. As of this moment, Officer Brennan is suspended pending a full internal investigation. I'll be recommending termination to the City Council. I appreciate that, but I'm also filing a federal lawsuit against Officer Brennan and the city. This kind of behavior doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens because it's been tolerated. Morrison nodded. I understand. You have every right. Amara stood. I'll need copies of that body cam footage, the dispatch logs showing no call was made, and Officer Brendan's personnel file. My attorney will be in touch. You'll have everything by tomorrow morning. She turned to leave, then paused. One more thing. Check his other arrests from the past year, especially cases involving black defendants. I'd be willing to bet there's a pattern of rights violations. Morrison's expression showed he was already thinking the same thing. We will. 3 weeks later, the investigation was complete. The body cam footage had been reviewed by Internal Affairs, the city attorney, and an independent civil rights organization. The conclusion was unanimous. Officer Kyle Brennan had violated department policy, state law, and federal civil rights statutes. His personnel file revealed something worse. In the past 18 months, he'd made 43 arrests. 39 of them were black individuals. 12 of those cases had already been dismissed due to lack of evidence or procedural violations. The city council voted unanimously to terminate him. He lost his badge, his pension eligibility, and any chance of working in law enforcement again. But Amara wasn't finished. Her lawsuit named both Brennan and the city. The claim was straightforward.
unlawful detention, false arrest, excessive force, and violations of her 4th and 14th Amendment rights. The body cam footage made the case undeniable. The city's attorneys knew they couldn't win. 6 weeks after the incident, they offered a settlement: $200,000, a formal public apology, and a commitment to implement mandatory bias training and updated body camera policies for the entire police department. Amara accepted, not because she needed the money, but because it sent a message. Do you think this was justice, or should the consequences have been even greater?
6 months after the settlement, Amara sat in her chambers reviewing case files. It was a quiet afternoon, the kind she used to catch up on paperwork. Her clerk knocked on the door. "Judge, there's someone here to see you. Says it's important." "Who is it?" "A woman named Shanice Holloway. She says Officer Brennan arrested her last year." Amara set down her pen. "Send her in." A young woman in her mid-20s entered. She wore scrubs, probably coming from a shift at the hospital. Her hands twisted nervously. "Judge Baptiste, I'm sorry to bother you. I know you're busy." "Sit down, please. What can I do for you?" Shanice sat on the edge of the chair. "I saw the news about what happened to you, about Officer Brennan, and I just wanted to say thank you." "Thank me for what?" "He arrested me 13 months ago, said I was loitering outside a store, but I wasn't. I was waiting for my ride after my shift. He searched my bag without asking, found nothing, but he arrested me anyway for disorderly conduct." Amara leaned forward. "What happened with your case?" "It got dismissed eventually, but I lost my job because I missed 3 days of work. I couldn't make bail right away, and I didn't have money for a good lawyer, so I just took the public defender who told me to plead guilty to a lesser charge. I almost did. I almost just accepted it because I didn't think anyone would believe me over a cop." Her voice cracked. "But then the prosecutor dropped it after Brennan got fired. They reviewed his arrests, and mine was one of them. They said the arrest was unlawful." "I'm glad the charges were dropped," Amara said gently. "That's not why I came here." Shanice looked up, tears in her eyes. "I came because you fought back. You didn't just let it go. And because you did that, they looked at his other cases, including mine. You saved me from having a criminal record for something I didn't do." Amara felt the weight of those words. This was why it mattered. Not just for her, for everyone. "Shanice, you deserved justice. I'm sorry it took so long. You didn't have to sue the city. You could have just moved on, but you didn't, and that meant something to people like me." After Shanice left, Amara sat at her desk for a long time. She thought about that afternoon at the ATM, about Brennan's arrogance, about how differently it could have ended if she hadn't known her rights. How many people had Brennan intimidated who didn't speak up? How many accepted guilt for crimes they didn't commit because fighting seemed impossible? The settlement money wasn't the point. The termination wasn't even the full point. The point was accountability. Kyle Brennan never worked in law enforcement again. He moved to another state and took a job in private security, but even that didn't last long. The video had gone viral. His name was permanently attached to his actions. The Charleston Police Department implemented the reforms they'd promised. Body cameras became mandatory for all interactions. Officers received updated training on constitutional rights and implicit bias. Complaint processes were made more transparent. Was it perfect? No, but it was progress. And it started because one woman refused to be silent. Amara still uses that ATM on 5th Street. She still withdraws cash on Tuesday afternoons, and every time she does, she remembers that moment. Not with anger, not with bitterness, with resolve. Because justice isn't just about what happens in a courtroom. It's about standing firm when someone tries to abuse their power. It's about knowing your rights and refusing to be intimidated. And sometimes it's about making sure your story is heard so that others know they don't have to stay silent either. So, here's the question. If you were in Amara's position, would you have fought back, or would you have let it go to avoid the hassle? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story meant something to you, hit that like button and subscribe. We share real stories about real people standing up for what's right. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is refuse to back down.